Enza wakes up every day, checks his phone, starts scrolling on Instagram, and stumbles upon his longtime crush, Naki, a beautiful 20-year-old girl. He likes every picture whenever she posts. He decides to message the girl. The reality of the things is the girl might not respond to his messages due to high number of other guys that are messaging her. Or she might completely ignore the messages if she sees a better option from her DM. He checks his phone with the hope she will respond, which she never does. Naki kept on posting her pictures as usual. Enza keeps on liking her pictures to chase her validation. But how many other guys are liking her pictures? Thousands. It's a competition. Enza soon realizes he's clearly not the only guy interested in her. He's competing with guys that are not so good looking but funny. Some are worth millions. Some have interesting personalities. Some have great looks and perfect bodies. Enza sees this and he has almost 2% chance of getting the girl. The men in his competitions have far more greater things to offer than he is. This makes him feel unworthy, invisible, not enough, or even just a number the girl sees whenever she's on her social media account. The reality is, nature is cruel and a blessing at the same time. Naki, on the other hand, her beauty gives her value. She was born with it. She doesn't even have to try. She has more options than she can ask for. Even at the gym, guys hit up on her way to the mall. She gets approached every time. That level of an attention is a blessing to her, since she has a lot to choose from. But the curse is, which of the guys in her DM or on the streets are fit for her? Even she gets overwhelmed from this. But she does realize she has power over men simply by looks, and she doesn't even have to say anything. The validation gives her confidence and status, but none provides her with her emotional needs. None of the guys hitting up on her know her personality, her emotional needs. They couldn't even care less about her professional career. That is the difference between Enza and Naki. Enza would soon confess to his boss about this girl he likes so much and was frustrated why she doesn't acknowledge him. Mr. Van would tell him, she acknowledges those who have high value like her. The difference is she was born with value that attracts all the men, but Enza has to work to build his value, such as the fate of every man. He has to build his status, his money, his knowledge, his physique, so that he will be seen as a potential provider and protector that will be equivalent enough to match the value of the pretty girl he desires. Enza must outcompete the other man and become visible as the man. Mr. Van himself is a successful businessman. He's got status, money, and value. He no longer has to try too hard since that value matches the beauty standards of women, as if he got power. Which is why every weekend, Mr. Van goes to meet any woman he wants, different kinds and different options. Just like how Naki has options. High value creates more options coming in your direction. Mr. Van didn't start like this. While he was still coming up, he would often get rejected, struggle to get the women he wants. He redirected all his focus to his goals and upgraded himself, becoming valuable and the 5% of the men on top of the social chain. Enza is at the bottom of the social chain, and he has long, hard years to work his way up, such as the fate of a man. Men are biologically valued for their physical strength, logical and wise thinking, and the competitive social status. Enza would see men twice his age with girls his age. Why? They are at the same hierarchy of the social chain. Every time he stumbles upon his crush account, it made him feel even smaller, knowing they are not of the same league. Which is why he began a journey to build his value. Naki would often be on several dates. The funny guy would make her laugh, be there for emotional support, good characteristics. He had the personality, but he lacked the physique and money. This is bad for Naki. Part of her desires is missing. Naki would start seeing the man with the money and looks. He would give her whatever she wants, but the problem is this guy's isn't funny. He provided no emotional intensity, just logic. She is often bored around him and felt no emotional connection. The money is there, but there is no personality. She would later meet a guy with good physique, makes a little money, and is a bit funny. He would take the lead and make her feel more feminine. However, he physically takes advantage. He has anger issues. Naki was getting abused. She would cry most of the time in her room. He left her, and with emotional trauma and physical abuse. However, because of her nature, she would ignore reality for her feelings. Her biggest fear is negligence. After a long processed thought, all the men who were at the top of her social chain are gone. The truth is she selected the men on top of her social ranking and wanted to link them with her fantasy. She kept on showing her face on Instagram, but her nature for seeking emotional validation was left unattended. She stumbles upon Enza's profile. He had improved a bit. She realizes Enza has been sending messages for almost 2 years now. Enza is now a bit mature. His dressing style is getting better. He hits the gym, gained confidence, and is saving his money for financial stability. Not yet at the top of the social hierarchy, but the potential is there like a little fire that's trying to grow flames. Because of time and growth, Naki downgrades her standards to Enza's level, those who are in the building phase. Such is the fate of a woman. She has to maintain her beauty, make a family while still young, and she could get another rich man anytime, but the trauma and experience from a previous relationship, she would just need someone to cater her emotions, without emphasizing money, physique, or status. She replies to Enza showing interest. She starts showing interest to Enza, replying to his messages for the first time. You could say she is choosing Enza because he is her last choice, as if Enza had to wait for the guys on top of the social chain to be with her, and once her value lowers, she goes to him. Enza finally had the chance to be with his dream girl. To him, he felt as if Mr. Van advice did make a difference. He felt like he climbed the social chain and is on top of the world. But the reality is, Naki had to downgrade her standards to match his value. His value was growing, Naki's value was falling. They would go on dates. Enza is thinking, do I like her? Does she also like me? Naki is thinking, how does he make me feel? Enza learned about the difference in their values. He knew Naki communicates to express and connect emotions. She wants empathy. Enza communicates to solve problem. He is direct and communicates to find a solution. Whenever they have time to bond, Enza would be proud. I am doing something for her. Naki would be glad. I'm emotionally present for him. Enza is more afraid of emotional depth and being vulnerable, whereas Naki ignores her reality and focuses on emotional dependency. Both are so-called soulmates, but their definition of love is different from each other. Always sharing their deepest stories, but are in different zones, different fantasies, and react to different rewards of their relationship. However, Naki is growing. Time is her enemy. She must mate and settle down. Enza is also growing. His improvements and his status is now bringing more women. They now view him as top of the social hierarchy. He has money, great looks, personality, and knowledge. And women see him with Naki and deem him as desirable. Enza is now getting messages from women younger than Naki. They flirt with him wherever he goes. Naki would get jealous over this, feeling as if she will get neglected. Sometimes Enza wouldn't resist women coming to him, almost as if he is getting tempted. Both Naki and Enza would be a relationship, still in love, but their values are changing. Enza built his way up to the top of the social hierarchy, and Naki wants to build a sustainable relationship, and main nature is cruel to men, but time is cruel to women. Thank you, subscribe.